Hi fam, welcome to vworkstudio. This is the top 10 art with dark secrets. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. You don't want to miss and deep dive into the darker sides of art. So now, let's begin with the number 10. Kicking off our list with number 10 is the study after Velázquez's portrait of the Pope Innocent X by Francis Bacon. Based in Diego Velázquez's iconic 1650 portrait of Pope Innocent X, Bacon's version takes a dark turn, transforming a figure of power into a vision of horror. The original portraits the Pope in all his dignity and authority, but Bacon's interpretation replaces calmness with chaos and silence with the screen. The secret behind the painting is Bacon never actually saw Velázquez original in person. He relied solely on productions, which added unsettling distance between him and the subject. His obsession with reinterpreting the image became exploration of the torment, both psychologically and existential. The Pope appeared trapped in a ghost cage, his face contoured with screens into a void. Some see this as a critic as the Catholic Church hypocrisy. Others believe it reflects Bacon's own struggles with authority and repression. Whatever the interpretation, the study after Velázquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X isn't just a painting. Powerful deception of raw, human fear and disintegration of order. It forces to confront us in our anxieties about power, decay, and the passage of time. Coming at number 9, A Burial at Ornas by Gustave Courbet. This painting captured the bleakness of death in a way that shocked the art world when it was unveiled. The time when paintings were expected to glorify their subjects or the top hero tales, Courbet instead chose the portrait of an ordinary funeral in a rural town, without any idealization or romanticism. The Mormons' faces are raw and emotionless, as they are accepting the inevitability of death rather than mourning their loss. The grave at the bottom of the painting isn't just a symbol, as a reminder of our own mortality, staring back at the viewer. When Courbet displayed the massive painting, he was criticized for its realism and accused for being anti-art. Yet, it was Courbet's way to confronting society, aversion to death, forcing people to face a reality that they rarely ignore. A Burial at Ornas marked a shift towards the realism in art, challenging the notion that paintings should only depict beauty and grandeur. Courbet's art was about truth, no matter how uncomfortable or mundane it might be. Coming up number 8, The Gardens of Earthly Delights. Tale that takes us a journey from paradise to dimension. The left panel depicts the serene gardens of Eden. As we move to the central panel, things take a strange turn. Here, early pressures as the scenes intertwine into a chaotic swirl and bizarre creatures, strange human figures, surreal landscapes. Some believe that Bosch encoded secret message in his work, hiding secrets of society in the church plain sight. The chaotic central panel symbolizes humanity falling to a sin. The right panel, grotesque deception of hell. A nightmare landscape filled with torment and suffering. Scholars have debated the painting meaning for centuries. During the meaning it was a moral warning, visual representation of the dreams and nightmares, or even a form of medieval satires. The painting's dark secret lies in our ability to capture and unsettle, drawing viewers into a world where beauty and horror coexist. It forces to question our own desires, fears, and the thin line between paradise and dimension. Coming at number 7, The Scream by Edvard Munch. A painting that embodies the pure existential truth, as if the very world itself collapsed into chaos. Munch described the moment when he felt a vast, infinitive scream pass through nature, which became the inspiration for this haunting image. What makes the scream so unsettling isn't just the figure's distorted face or the swirling sky, it's the story behind it. Munch's life was marked by tragedy. His mother died by tuberculosis when he was just a child, and his sister met the same fate soon after. These events left a deep scar on Munch, and his work often reflects themes of death, anxiety, and psychological torment. Adding to the painting's dark legacy, the fact that it is being stolen multiple times, almost as it was cursed. Each time it was recovered and was suffered damage, as the thought the painting resisted as being captive. The scream is just not a portrait of panic, it's a glimpse into the artist's tortured soul, forever caught between fear and despair. Coming up, number 6, The Raft of the Medusa. A monumental painting by Theodore Guernica. This painting depicts the aftermath of the real-life shipwreck in the 1816. The survivors, stranded on the makeshift raft during starvation, dehydration, and even cannibalism in a desperate bid for the survival. To capture the horror scene, Guernica went to disturbing lengths. He interviewed survivors, studied decomposing bodies at the morgues, and used several limbs as the models for the painting's most gruesome details. But beyond his realism, the Raft of the Medusa is a political statement, a scathing critique of the French government incompetence which led to the disaster in the first place. The painting doesn't show human suffering. It captures the fragile line between life and death, hope and despair. It's a haunting reminder of the lengths we go to survive and the darkness that can emerge in times of desperation. Coming up, number 5, The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. This surreal masterpiece, when its melting clocks drafting over barren landscapes, is a symbol of time slipping away and the fluidity of reality. At the first glance, it might seem like an old dreamscape, but there's a deeper and darker meaning behind it. The story behind this painting reflects Dali's fascination in the subconscious mind and his fear of time. He once explained that melting clocks were inspired by a moment when he saw a piece of cheese melting in the sun. The painting itself holds much deeper implications. It's a visual representation of time and memory distorted as we age, and how fragile human existence really is. The surreal landscape and strange shapes add to the scene of unknowns. Many believe the persistence of memory is the Dali's ways of confronting mortality and inevitability of decay. This painting isn't just about time, it's about fleeting in nature of itself, despite the way that challenge our understanding of reality. Coming up, number 4, The Death of Marat by Jacques-Louis David. This painting portrays the radical French revolutionary leader Jean-Paul Marat moments after his assassination. His body lies in a bathtub, his hand slumples to one side, and a blood-stained letter in his hand. The water around him is tinged with red. Marat's death wasn't just a tragic incident, it was a political charge. His assassin, Charles Corday, believed that killing Marat put the end to the violence of the revolution. David, a friend of Marat, chose to describe him as a martyr, evoking image of Christ in traditional religious paintings. There's a dark irony here. Marat's writing had fueled much of the bloodshed that Corday sought to stop. This painting isn't just a tribute, it's a propaganda intended to canonize Marat as the hero of the revolution. The serene look on his face, the simplicity of the setting, hide the chaos and the turmoil that define Marat's life and death. Is a haunting reminder of how art can be used to manipulate history and create icons out or even the most controversial figures. Coming up, number 3, Guernica by Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso's Guernica, a monumental anti-war statement that captures the horror of the Spanish town Guernica after it was bombed during the Spanish Civil War. This painting chaotic jungle of figures, screaming mothers, fallen soldiers, a bull, dying horse, creates a scene of devastation. The dark story behind Guernica is not only the event, but also a controversial aftermath. When the painting was displayed around the world, it became a powerful symbol of anti-fascism and the brutality of war. The painting starred black, white, and gray tones added to its chilling effect, emphasizing the lifelessness and despair. Guernica is just a deception of tragic event. It's a cry for justice, a scream against war, and a warning about the horrors of violence. It forces to confront us the darkest aspect of human nature. Coming up, number 2, The Night Watch. The Night Watch by Rembrandt's painting filled with dynamic action, mystery, and intrigue. This massive work displays a group of Amsterdam militia members preparing for action, but there is more happening here that meets the eye. The real secret of the Night's Watch lies in the use of light and shadow, or is known as the claro and scuro. Remmer masterful directs your attention to certain figures, creating a sense of drama and movement in a way that could otherwise be a static group portrait. But what makes the painting even more intriguing is the theory that contains hidden message. Subtle hints, but something is missing among the group. Some art historians believe that certain details in the Night's Watch suggest a deeper story. The figure of a young girl, bathed in a light, carries a chicken, which some interpret as the symbol of innocence and sacrifice. The captain hand, glowing unnaturally, seems to be pointing towards the heart of the painting's hidden narrative, suggesting conspiracy or betrayal within the militia. Rember's Night's Watch isn't just a portrait, it's a dramatic scene full of life, movement, and unsolved mysteries. Dark atmosphere full of tones that invites the viewers to look deeper and uncover the secrets hidden within the shadows. Coming up, number 1, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, one of the most iconic paintings in art history. But beyond its beautiful, swirling night sky and bright stars, there's the painting filling with emotional depth, creating during one of the most turbulent periods in Van Gogh's life. Van Gogh painted Starry Night while staying at the Aslan in Saint-Remy department, where he was battling his mental issue. This painting captures his view from an Aslan window, but instead of simplifying recreating what he saw, Van Gogh infused the night sky with a sense of movement, energy, and emotion. It reflects not just the beauty of the world outside, but the turmoil of creativity inside his mind. The cypress tree, reaching towards the sky, being interpreted in many ways. Some see as a symbol of death, connecting the heavens and earth. Others believe it represents Van Gogh's desire for peace, to escape the struggles he faced. The village below, too calm and still, contrasts with the wild energy of the sky, creating a tension that mirrors Van Gogh's own inner conflict. Starry Night isn't just a beautiful landscape, it's the emotional expression of Van Gogh's views of the world and himself. Through his bold colors, swirling shapes, and dreamlike atmosphere, Van Gogh invites us to his mind, showing us both beauty and the chaos that define his life. This masterpiece is not just a visual stunning, but also deeply personal, capturing a moment of brilliance in the midst of the darkness. See you guys for the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Love you all.